All right, there we go. Well, welcome to our oily pop-up this evening. We're going to be talking about recipes for essential oils. We're going to have some fun together. I hope you have your peppermint and wild orange with you. And I'm going to let Barb share a little bit right away about her journey. Oh, hold on, Barb, you're muted.
Okay. Am I unmuted?
You're
Okay.
good.
Knew a little bit about oils, obviously, when I became a grandma and Blake came part of our lives, but didn't really jump in until COVID hit. And March gave me the opportunity to really dig in and to connect with Amy and her mom. And it's just been a whirlwind ever since of learning and wanting to share. And I just know that there are so many really good things out there, um, trying to lead a clean, healthy life. And this way you can do that with oils. So I'm glad he's able to join us and learn from you.
And I know Jordyn's not on to share with us this moment, but the other night she was talking about how really for her it started with support for Blake's digestive system, and that being such a significant like piece of the puzzle for them and helping. And so oils really started there for her. So my name on the screen says I'm Melissa, but I'm really Amy. I just spell it differently than the Amy that's on. She's French and fancy. Anyway, so I live in northern Wisconsin with my husband and our two girls, 5 and 1. And our oil journey started about 7 years ago now. And really what it was, I was having recurring bladder infections and I was going to lose my mind, and oils gave me relief. And I didn't even know they existed until that moment. And I was just floored. So we just began that journey of incorporating them for different kinds of things. And it really is to the point that like both my husband and I wonder like how we would navigate daily life without them for physical support, mood, things that come up in parenting and marriage and all sorts of things. They've been such a critical tool, and they've really empowered us in so many ways. So I think it's fun to be able to spend this time together. So in the next 30 minutes in this Zoom room, we're going to hang, ask questions, feel free to interrupt or put something in the chat box. There's no bad questions or wrong questions. But really what the goal of our time is together is to empower you. We're going to cover some foundational info. Actually, maybe, I know Amy's hands are full. Amy, is your familiarity level with essential oils? Are you like oil pro? Are you like on a blind date with oils? Tell us a little bit about where you're at.
So I don't really know anything about oils aside from, I know that there are some people in our church that like use them and have explored them. I know that one time, like it's so weird. Kaylin had a scratch and we were like out somewhere and someone's like, oh, hey, this like oil really helps to just like put it on it and help it heal. And like, really, I did notice a difference on her, it was on her cheek and on her face. So it was kind of like a nice, I did notice a difference of like, oh, wow, that seemed to heal really fast. But so I've been interested, but I really know nothing. I'm starting from like pretty much zero with it. So that's kind of where I am. And yeah, I think I know like some people maybe use some things to clean, like I've heard thieves mentioned. And so, but I don't know, yeah, like what that would look like or what are the popular ones that are most common even.
Awesome. No, that's super helpful. I bet you know more than you think you do, but that really helps. So we'll cover some foundational stuff. We will talk about recipes that are great for like everyday kinds of things, and then different ways you can purchase oils and receive essential oil support. Before we get started, what we'll ask, maybe your phone is doing a Zoom room or whatever, but if you have a way to pull up a text message and send a text message to either Barb or Jordyn, whoever invited you. And what you would put in the body of that text message would be your top 1 to 3 health goals. This could be for you or for somebody in your family. But what this really does is it helps us. Essential oils can be a little overwhelming because there's so many different like ways to do it and ways to begin. And so sometimes it's helpful to talk like specifically like, oh, this oil would be helpful for this, and this is how you would use it. So it really enables us to do that customization and serve you well so you don't feel overwhelmed, because that's the last thing anybody needs right now. Please don't overwhelm me. Okay, so what we'll start off with is what I like to call the 3 cool things about essential oils. Honestly, if you remember nothing else from this class, I hope this is what you remember. I hope this is what sticks with you. So the first thing I want to talk about is how they're 100% natural and safe. They're safe for all ages. They're coming from plants. They have amazing health benefits. The thing that you want to keep in mind is that they're very pure and potent. So we're talking 50 to 70 times more powerful than an herb. For example, 1 drop of peppermint is the equivalent to drinking 28 cups of peppermint tea. So it's good to keep that in perspective and remember that less is always more. To help you feel how powerful doTERRA essential oils are, we can have a little experience with your peppermint. So yours might be in a little bottle. So what you can do, and even if you just want to smell it, that's totally appropriate. But what I like to recommend for people to do is put a drop in your hand. You might have to kind of tap the bottom of the bottle to get it to come out a little bit. So put some into the palm of your hand, and then you can just take your thumb and rest your thumb on the roof of your mouth. With your hands full. We're really testing you, Amy. Okay, so then you can just take a deep breath through your mouth. You can also just hold your hands in front of your face. You don't even have to touch your face, and just take a deep breath. Breathe that in through your nose, breathe that in through your mouth. Let that really open up your airways and invigorate. So if you ever get an oil like peppermint in your eye or on a sensitive area, you can just use a carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil, even olive oil, something oily like that to help cut that sensation. It's not going to do damage, but if you can kind of cut the strong sensation, that will really, really help. Okay, so the last thing you can do is just take your hands, if your hands are able to, and rub them together, rub them on your neck and your back. And you'll have a really relaxing, cooling sensation. Okay, so we're all a little invigorated and ready to go. So that's the first cool thing about essential oils. They are 100% natural and safe. And while you're thinking about how wonderful that peppermint was, let's talk a little bit more about what it's good for. Yes, you can use it aromatically, topically, and internally. It's very energizing, promotes clear breathing, cooling to the body. This could be like hormonally you're hot. It could be like your immune system has made you hot, and it can really help bring your body temp down. It's also very relieving for head tension, which can be really handy. Okay. The second cool thing would be that essential oils are super effective. And I would even say that they're more effective than modern approaches to health problems. So if you just if we consider this for a second, if we have a cell in our body and this is our cell membrane, it keeps the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. Bacteria and virus are going to be like the harmful things to our cells. Bacteria forms on the outside, but a virus is going to be an issue on the inside of our cells. If you go to the doctor for a bacterial infection, they're probably going to recommend an antibiotic. And in 7 to 10 days, it's probably going to clear up that infection. Unfortunately, come with some not so great side effects. It's going to be hard on your gut, your hormones, your immune system. But if you have a virus, like a cold or the flu, and you go to the doctor, they're pretty much going to send you home. And the reason is because most of the modern recommendations are water-based, and they cannot penetrate the cell membrane to get to where that virus is duplicating on the inside. So essential oils are oil-based, and they can penetrate the cell membrane, and they can get to where that virus is duplicating on the inside. And they can also be very effective with bacteria too. I love that they can do that without side effects and addictions, that they're, like we talked about, that they're safe to be using that way, and also how effective they are. Okay, so that's the second cool thing. They're super effective. And then the third thing, and this requires a little bit of explaining so you don't think I'm totally nuts. You might think I'm nuts, and that's okay. They're affordable. So if you think for a second, think in your brain, what is your copay for going to the doctor? And then maybe another number to consider is if you were to get a prescription for an antibiotic from your doctor, how much would it cost to fill the prescription? So even with really amazing insurance, you still have to factor in the gas to get to the appointment, time off from work, exposure to other germs, maybe a sitter for your other kids. There's a lot that goes into it. So the bottom line is, even if you had to use your oils for 10 days, it's still going to be more affordable than going to the doctor and getting a prescription, especially one that won't work for a viral infection. I just have to say, I'm super grateful for good medical care, very much so. But if there's something that we can handle at home, I will definitely handle it at home first. So a good example is if somebody in my home has like an earache, what we can do is take Melaleuca, tea tree, and lavender and dilute it and put it just around the outsides of the ears and down the eustachian tubes. And that really helps open up those and drainage to happen. And the application of those oils costs 64 cents each time. So we literally, our family saves hundreds of dollars in medical costs using our oils. It saves all those little visits, sometimes bigger visits too, you know? And so we have come to the point where we cannot not afford to use natural solutions. Okay. So that's why I say they're more affordable than traditional care. Okay. So that's the third cool thing. All right. So remember, if you remember nothing else, it's that they're 100% natural and safe, they're effective, and they're affordable. Amy, do you have any questions about those things?
Nope.
See, you are an oil pro. Okay, so I just want to take a couple minutes here. I always do this. I don't know why I always have it's that I need to talk more often or less. I can't decide. Okay, so I just want to talk for a minute about doTERRA oils. So basically, doTERRA oils are what my family has chosen to use. And it's what I've chosen to educate others on as well. Barb and Jordyn would say the same. Now, don't panic. If you have like oils at home that are from a different company, or you have like, I'm a very friendly oil girl. This is a friendly crew. I just think it's really important to take a minute to consider just a few of the reasons why like my whole family confidently uses our doTERRA oils. So the first thing I want to talk about is purity. So with doTERRA, it means no foreign contaminants or fillers, like not even residue from machinery, nothing, just the oil is in that bottle. Every batch of oils undergoes rigorous third-party testing, tested at the source when it gets to doTERRA and before it comes out to any of our homes. Transparency, I think, is so important. There's a batch ID on the bottom of doTERRA's bottles, and you can enter that into their website and you can see the testing that's been done on that oil. Potency. So each plant is going to be grown in a part of the world where the plant grows best. And this results in the absolute best chemistry for that plant. This means that the pH of the soil was right, the rainfall was right, it was harvested at the right time. Lavender grown in my backyard is going to be very different from lavender grown in Bulgaria, where it should be grown, is best grown. Sourcing. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk most about, but it's for good reason. So doTERRA has created an entirely new sourcing system, and it empowers thousands of small scale farmers across the world. So lives at both ends of the bottle benefit every single time, and no one is taken advantage of along the way. This really helps reverse the limiting factors for those small farmers. They're being paid fairly, sometimes prepayments, more than fairly, actually, I would say. They're providing education, long-term commitments, equipment, training, all of that. Their motto is sourcing the best and helping the most. They are motivated by helping people and not cutting costs. And so I just want to consider this for a minute. So lavender is, we're all pretty familiar with lavender. We've heard of it at the very least. So the most efficient and easy way possible for doTERRA to source their lavender would be like 3,000 acres of commercial farmland, and it would be cheap. They could mass produce it. To run that farm would only take 3 to 5 employees. And that's just not who doTERRA is. So what they've chosen to do is they've partnered with existing small scale farmers. Did you know to cover all of their lavender needs, it's nearly 350 small scale farmers that they're working with. And that's just for one oil, right? doTERRA offers us 150 oils. Think about all of the families and all the lives that are impacted. Okay. So I want to purchase oils that are sourced like this. And the last is the science and research. You know, doTERRA has a medical advisory board, a scientific advisory board, 113 medical and university partnerships, Johns Hopkins and Vanderbilt. Really great things that they're doing to help bridge Eastern and Western and further that relationship. So I love their deep commitment to researching. I guess the bottom line is, yes, doTERRA is absolutely committed to purity and potency, but also that empowering small scale farmers is really, I think, a critical piece as well. Okay. Okay, the last foundational piece I just want to make sure we talk about is 3 ways to use doTERRA essential oils. This will make you like dangerous when you have oils because you'll know what to do with them. So the first would be aromatically. This is a great way to positively affect mood. Our limbic system, our brain, our amygdala. Aroma is such a powerful way. And honestly, doesn't it sound a little hokey when people are like, just smell an oil, it'll affect your whole body, right? Like even I am like, that's just so strange. But if you think about it, like when you go to the dentist and if you're anxious and they have to give you laughing gas, like they don't give it to you in a shot, you breathe it in, right? And those synthetic compounds trigger your whole body to relax. So the natural compounds and oils work in that same way. And there's research done that shows that your whole body can be infected in as little as 30 seconds. So you can use a diffuser. You can smell it right from your hands like we did with peppermint, right out of the bottle. But this is a really great way to be using essential oils. Great for the whole family. There's a diffuser in all of our rooms. Okay, so if you have your wild orange, that's the oil to grab right now. If you've got your little bottle, go ahead and take the top off of that. And if you just want to put a little bit into your hands, and I just want you to just hold it in front of your face and breathe that in. Take a deep breath. Okay, so I call this one like liquid happiness. I think it's very energizing and invigorating, right? I'm like sometimes like, man, you're like to my family, you need to drop a wild orange and I need to drop a wild orange and everybody sniff their wild orange. So I love how uplifting it is to the mood. It's honestly, the natural compounds in wild orange are very helpful for stressful feelings and even like when you're feeling very down. So it's a good oil to have on hand all the time. The second way would be topically. So I always say, put it where it hurts. And if you're not sure where it hurts, put it on the bottoms of your feet. All the nerve endings there, it's a great way to get access into your body. I do want to make sure we talk about diluting. Okay, so I always dilute for anybody who's under the age of 6, anybody who's pregnant or nursing, or anybody who's like elderly with more sensitive skin. I like to use fractionated coconut oil because it's light and not greasy, but again, olive oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, almond oil, you can use different oils. But what that carrier oil does is it gives your body more time to absorb the essential oil that you've put on it. It also helps it not evaporate as quickly, which is really good. So you have a longer lasting effect. So that's a really, diluting is a great thing. Okay. And then the third way would be internally. doTERRA essential oils are not only safe to take internally, they're actually recommended. The CPTG standard that they hold means that these oils are medicinal grade and they're completely safe to ingest, unlike most other brands. So you could put them in your mouth, you could drink them in your water using a glass or a stainless steel container, or you could put them in a veggie capsule if you don't want to taste it. It's like concocting your own little natural remedy. Okay. Okay, so you know all the things now. What are some really great recipes? What are some ways that you can utilize it? So I put this into 4 categories in the order of things that are the most important to me. Food, first and foremost, cleaning, diffusing, and we'll talk about some roller bottle recipes as well. So you have oils that are diluted and ready to go are really great. If your hands are full and a screenshot is too hard, don't worry about it. I can send slides over later if there's something you want to look at. So we're going to start with food. Like I said, that's my favorite thing in the world. So what about peppermint brownies, right? We all make brownies occasionally. You can really easily add some drops of your peppermint into your favorite brownies and you'll be so fancy. Maybe you forgot and you just want to add it to frosting and put it on. Again, so fancy. Spaghetti sauce, right? Or a red sauce. You could add a toothpick amount of oregano to your sauce. So you would just literally put a toothpick through the top, that little hole right there, and then swirl it into your sauce. And that's all you would need. What about a fruit dip here? Okay, so I just like adding a citrus oil to like maybe my favorite yogurt, or some people are like way cooler than me, or like, well, I don't know, fruit dips with like, they've got like marshmallow stuff and things in there, cream cheese. I'm like, just grab yogurt and put some citrus oil in it. You really can't go wrong. But that's such a fun way to make a great fruit dip. And then guacamole. Okay, so what about just adding some lime and a drop of cilantro to your guacamole? And again, you're gonna look so fancy, and it was just a couple drops there that elevated your avocados to the next level. And this is probably my favorite, On Guard popcorn. So make some popcorn. You can put 2 drops of On Guard. This is like the protective immune supporting blend. And I just like rub it around the sides of your bowl. And then I add the popcorn in and mix it all around. And that is like a really easy way to have a yummy snack and that yummy On Guard in there too. Here's a really great recipe for rosemary lemon hummus. This isn't a super complicated, I'd say a pretty standard hummus recipe, but you're going to add in some drops of lemon and rosemary oil. And that's just another great way to elevate this recipe and get some really good boosts for your body systems in there too with lemon and rosemary. Good for your digestion, your immune support, all that. And On Guard chocolate bark. Okay, so this is like a favorite. Somebody is making this for Valentine's Day, and I was like, can I be your Valentine? So all it is chocolate and all of those good things, craisins, almonds, pistachios. You add your On Guard oil. We've learned that it says that you should just mix it all together and then spread it out, but it won't look as pretty as this. So if you can spread your chocolate and then sprinkle it on top if you want it to look beautiful like this picture. But again, chocolate boosting your immune system, sign me up. Okay, what about some inspiration for cleaning? Maybe you don't love cleaning as much as me, maybe you do, but these are some pretty straightforward recipes. So liquid dish soap. You could use liquid Castile soap, Dr. Bronner's. I like to use the unscented one. You could use lime, lemon, and citrus bliss. Citrus oils, again, are going to uplift your mood. They're so cleansing. They're great degreasers. Really great to have in there. A surface spray. Again, you really can't go wrong. Get a glass spray bottle. I like On Guard, which we're back to our protective blend, lemon and tea tree. You can add vinegar if you want. I don't usually, but if you want to, go for it and fill the rest with water. What about a stain remover pre-soak? So this one is just 1 part On Guard laundry detergent to 2 parts hydrogen peroxide, and mix and spray. We have a lot of stains around our house, a lot of stains, and this has been super effective, and I'm super grateful for it. My oldest daughter sliced her head open, and it was pretty epic. It was like it was one of those. And she was crushed about her dress. She was wearing a dress, obviously. And in the morning I had washed it and I showed it to her. I had soaked it, washed it, and I showed it to her, and you should have seen her face. She was so sure that I was going to throw that in the trash. And I was like, nah, hand that over to mom. So it's really helpful to have that on hand. And the scrubbing paste. Okay, this is the recipe that people are usually like, what's the big deal? And then it changes their life. So all it is baking soda, the liquid soap, again, Dr. Bronner, get your Castile soap, a tablespoon of white vinegar. And then I like to just use lemon. You could put rosemary in there. You could put peppermint in there, and you're going to mix that together and store it in an airtight container. And scrub, you can scrub your sinks, your stoves, your tubs, your children. We had somebody misunderstand and scrub their face with it, and they thought it was the best thing ever. And I still am laughing about it to this day. It's not really for your face, but gardeners use it on their hands after being out, like men on their hands if they've been out working on the shop. So super versatile. I like this carpet or mattress refresh because it's so easy. You just use baking soda, and then I like to use the Purify blend. It's very purifying, but it's got an amazing odor. Or you can reach for maybe lavender, lemon, even peppermint. And what you do is you just mix that together and sprinkle it onto the area. So maybe your carpet, maybe your mattress while you're washing your sheets, and then you let it sit for a few hours and you vacuum it all up. Super easy. Another vacuum tip, if you use a vacuum with a bag, you can just put drops of your favorite essential oil onto a cotton ball and put it in your vacuum bag. So now you are refreshing your house while you vacuum, because who doesn't love a little multitasking and getting it all done? And then a car refresh. I just feel like I'm kind of tired of the wet boot smell in the bottom of the car, but even just adding some drops of wild orange and maybe of balance too, that's the grounding blend, to your car floor mats, kind of gives it that little boost. And it also keeps car rides a little bit happier. Foaming hand wash is just super easy to make, and great to have something chemical free that you can like put on your sink for when your kiddos come home, or, and you don't wash your hands. So this is again, back to our liquid soap. If you want, I don't add the rubbing alcohol, but you totally can. And then On Guard and lemon, fill the rest with water. It's pretty easy to get your hands on a foaming dispenser. You can even maybe reuse one you had. My last favorite recipe, somebody actually just gifted me these and I just can't say enough about them. Toilet bowl bombs. So it's baking soda, citric acid. You can get that at like your grocery store, Amazon Prime. And then 30 drops of your choice of oil. Purify, Wild Orange, or On Guard would be great options. And then some water. You mix that together and then you press it into like one of those silicone molds. Get one at like Goodwill or order one or find it at a garage sale. And you might have to push it down a little bit. It kind of expands, but it's going to get hard. And so then you can remove them. And like, they're honestly kind of fun. Like you could even keep them in a mason jar in the back of your toilet. And you just drop one in, you let it bubble, and then you scrub. So that's super fun. Diffusing. So we talked about why that's important. Here's just a picture of some different diffusers that doTERRA has. Like this one is portable. This one runs 2, 5, or 10 hours. This one covers a larger square footage. So there's a great variety. I think what I've learned is the value of the customer service behind these diffusers. The 1-year warranty is really valuable. It's so great to have something that I know that I can get help with if I need it. So I broke it down into 4 different categories for diffusing. So mood support, some of like the classic recipes, this happiness one with wild orange, lemon, and lavender, a little bit of uplifting and calming all in one is great. Confident is fun. It's got spearmint, tangerine, and bergamot. And then what I like to call the mix it up recipes. One is don't give up. So black pepper, lime, wild orange, and frankincense is a really great combination. And another one would be no worries, which is lime, wild orange, and breathe. What about cleansing and immune support? So some of the basic recipes like purify, breathe, and lemon is a really great combination. On Guard and wild orange, even On Guard on its own is going to be a really great immune support one. And then mix it up. This one was fun, I thought, just washed. So lavender, bergamot, and geranium. And then Wellness Way is cinnamon, eucalyptus, and motivate. I feel like I need to really try that one. That one sounds super good to me. Homework and focus and work time blends. So you're going to see peppermint in a lot of these because of its focusing abilities and motivating abilities, but tangerine, peppermint, and rosemary is a good one. And another play on that would be peppermint, wild orange, and frankincense. This is one of this study time right here is one of the blends that I originally fell in love with. And then if you want to mix it up, peppermint, I can do hard things is peppermint, basil, and wild orange. And get things done would be 4 peppermint and 2 coriander. The last category I want to talk about, probably maybe the most important, bedtime, maybe because it's bedtime right now, right? So sweet dreams is lavender, cedarwood, and vetiver. Deep sleep, this is my personal favorite, is serenity, equal parts of serenity, which is the restful blend, and citrus bliss, which smells just like a creamsicle. If you want to mix it up, Sweet Slumber has bergamot, cedarwood, and marjoram. And Nighty Night has lavender, Roman chamomile, and bergamot. Okay, so there isn't a wrong way to do it. You can have fun with it for sure, but it's fun to get some of that inspiration. And the last kind of recipes I want to make sure we touch on are roller bottle recipes. So all you need is an empty roller bottle. I like these ones with the stainless steel roller tops. They go on so nicely. And then you add your drops of essential oil, and then you add your carrier oil. There's some fractionated coconut oil. Again, choose your carrier oil of choice. As we're on this topic, I want to talk more about dilution and like what's age appropriate and how to handle that. So how I like to remember it is that for kids 6 and under, we talked about, you do it off of their age. So if they're 0 to 1, they get 1 drop of essential oil and the rest is diluted, is the carrier oil. If they're 2, they get 2 drops of oil, and the rest is carrier oil. 3 drops of essential oil, so on and so forth. That's an easy way. You're not going to, like, if you go one way or the other or have an extra drop or 2, nothing bad is going to happen. This is just a really easy, like, reference. This helps you remember. Teens, I say 10 to 15 drops, and then adults 15 to 25, making a roller. But once you have it diluted and ready to go, it makes your life so easy. You can even delegate to somebody else to put an oil on, which is a really helpful. Seasonal support. This is a really popular blend. It's just equal amounts of lemon, lavender, and peppermint. You would fill it with a fraction of coconut oil in your roller. I tell people to roll this on pulse points morning and night. Like for sure across their chest and their forehead for that seasonal relief. Immune support, we're all using right now, we call this flute, because that helps you remember the 5 oils in it, because it's the beginning letter of each one. What is that, Barb? An acronym, a synonym? It's not, it's acronym. Thanks, Barb. See Coach Barb to the rescue. Okay, so 4 frankincense, 4 lemon, oregano, on guard, and tea tree. Fill that up. You can adjust the drops based on what age you're working with, and you can roll this on the bottoms of your feet and your spine for that immune support. Liquid calm. This is very important. Every household should have a liquid calm roller. So it has equal parts of balance, which is the grounding blend. This is the blend I put on each day so I don't kill and eat people when I get crabby. And then serenity, which is the restful blend, very calming. And so this is so good. Temper tantrum, or somebody's crabby, or you just want to hit it off, like you want to nip that in the bud before it even starts. This is like, wear it like a perfume. And then digestive support, because I think that's really key for everyone. Frankincense, wild orange, and digest zen, which is the digestive blend, would be a really good combination. You can have that diluted, ready to go, roll it right on your belly when you feel like you're having an issue. Okay. Okay, if there are any questions, Amy, make sure you put those in the chat box. I just want to talk briefly about, like, what is an oil girl? I suppose, like, an oil girl typically is who you buy your essential oils from, but I think that being somebody's oil girl is a lot more than just that. In our oily world, in our oily family, it means supporting people with free education. We really believe that, like, oils, like, you need to know how to use them, right? So through text or Facebook or emails or Zoom, all different formats. It means creating personalized protocols to help you with what you have, and brainstorming the best solutions for your health goals, right? Having those conversations. Also giveaways, gifts, fun, and more. So there are 3 different ways that you can purchase oils. The first way is actually at retail. Like, nobody buys at retail because it's the most expensive way to buy oils. But, like, maybe if you were at a chiropractor's office or a spa, something like that. But it's just the most expensive. The other way would be wholesale. It's just like having a Costco card or a Sam's card. You've got an annual membership, and it gives you access to wholesale pricing. With doTERRA, that's 25% off, which is really great. And then below wholesale, this is the third way. It's the only way I buy my oils for obvious reasons. So there are a couple different ways to do this. One would be picking out a starter kit. And the other is actually the loyalty rewards program, which is something optional that a lot of people like to take advantage of. I think that when, like, you start dipping your toes into the world of essential oils, sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you could use an oil for that, or that there was an oil that would help me with that. There's, like, a lot of different things. And really the overall goal is, like, how can we set up a home for success? So, like, it's not just like, oh, I have an oil to reach for when I have a blemish, because, like, what about when somebody has a rash or a sore throat or the stomach bug or, you know, a respiratory thing, right? So, like, being able to meet those basic things when they pop up. And so what doTERRA does is they put together these kits, and they're cheaper than if you bought the oils individually, and it gets you a free wholesale membership. So it's a really great savings, and it gets you everything you need right at your fingertips. So the first kit that is really great is the Healthy Essentials. So this comes with the diffuser. It comes with quite a few of the oils that we talked about. I just want to highlight a couple of them. Like Deep Blue is like essential oil icy hot. Adaptive is the #1 blend for emotional and mental wellness. We talked about some of these. Copaiba is like what our family has chosen to use versus any CBD products for a variety of reasons. If you want to know, I can tell you, but I love our Copaiba oil. So this one is going to be $249. The Healthy Start Kit is actually what I started with back in the day before it even had a diffuser. So I'm a little jealous about that. So this one comes with the 10, what I would say are like the most popular versatile oils. They're smaller bottles. You get about 55 drops of each. 55. My math is off. 88. 88 drops of each oil in these bottles. And the price point on this is $160. And then this Simple Solutions Kit is really awesome because you get these 4 great products right here. And at the 105 price point, some people like being able to, if they want, like add on maybe some oils for a certain area they're wanting to focus on. Maybe they're like kids or sleep or digestion. So you can totally do that as well. So there are, this is just a shot of those 3 kits on the screen. I just gave them numbers. And so we do a giveaway, right, on these online classes, on these online pop-ups. So I know we talked about sending your health goals over. That got you an entry in our giveaway. And if you text over which kit number that you feel like might be a good fit for you, that will give you an extra entry as well. There are some super great promotions going on in February. So one is called doTERRA dollars. And so basically you get $50 in free oils. You know, you can pick them out when you get started in February. Okay, so what are the kits that qualify you for those 50 doTERRA dollars? The Healthy Essentials, the one that we talked about first, and the Healthy Start, both qualify you for the 50 doTERRA dollars. And there's another promotion too. It's called Determined to Defend. So you're going to get 4 amazing On Guard products. And that's, let me use my mouse. This is the On Guard hand sanitizing mist. You get the On Guard roller, which is diluted and ready to go for all ages. You get the actual straight oil here, and then the foaming hand wash. So this is an $81 value that you get for free. And the kit that qualifies you for that, as well as the 50 doTERRA dollars, is the Healthy Essentials kit. I made purple right here. Okay. So I know that's a lot of different layering of those things, but I hope that helps explain that well. Have I missed anything in the chat? Amy, is there anything, any specific questions that you have or anything that's come up as we've been sharing these things?
Sorry, fussy baby over here. Just what is the On Guard that you've been talking about a little bit? Like, I just don't know what that really is.
Yeah. So On Guard is the protective blend, which is all about immune support. It would be like you referred to Thieves earlier. It would be like doTERRA's version of Thieves. So you could put it in a roller. A lot of people like to clean with it. This is a really good cleaning oil, diffusing it, but it's got like the cinnamon and the wild orange eucalyptus. So it's a really wonderful smell and super effective. Barb, do you have anything you want to add about that, about On Guard?
Use it all the time. I have it in a spray bottle for cleaning up the kitchen. I put a drop of it on my feet every morning. Mm-hmm. I just love it.
Yeah, that was a good question, Amy. Anything else? Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so basically what you can expect from here, you'll get you're going to hear from your oil girl, whoever invited you to this class. You know, based on your health goals and what you shared, can kind of work on like, oh, here's some recommendations, what oils might be helpful. Anyone who says yes to getting started with a kit in the next 24 hours gets a free wild orange as well, because you can never have enough wild orange. But that's a little bit about that, so you know what you can expect moving forward. We do these oily pop-ups. They can be you know, tweaks or customized for like whatever kind of a group, but you can totally host your own. And what's fun about doing that is that you can earn some freebies. So if you have 4+ attendees at your oily pop-up, you get to pick from one of these oils There's like digestive blends in here and calming blends. Motivate is kind of self-explanatory, you know. And then if you have 8+ attendees, you get to pick from one of these. Personally, Jasmine is one of my absolute favorites, but you've got the On Guard roller in there as well. Serenity, we've talked a lot about tonight. And there's actually more freebies that you can earn. If you have 3 enrollments over $100 from your class, you can earn another $75 gift. So basically, doTERRA has these wellness kits. There's one that focuses on immunity. There's one that focuses on mind and mood. And there's one that focuses on like relief. And so you could pick one of these to help as your freebie. Okay. So if that's something that you think would be really fun, it's low pressure, then you can just let your person know in a text as well that you would be interested in getting a date on the calendar for that. So what I'm going to do next is we're just going to hang on here for a little bit. Amy, if you want to hop on for this, or stay on for this, you can. If you need to hop off and be with your little one, that's fine too. We're just going to take like the next 5 minutes to talk a little bit about what it's like to share oils with other people, because honestly, a lot of people have questions about what this looks like, and it's a pretty easy way to explain it. So feel free to stay on, feel free to hop off, no pressure. Really what we've learned in doTERRA is that there are 3 types of people. There are people who just like love their oils. They want to use them. They want to clean with them. They want to cook with them. There are people who want to share maybe with their mom and their best friend, and they end up sharing enough to get their oils paid for. And then there are people who build a business. They work to make an income, make an impact, and they want to put the time and intention towards that. So really, there's no wrong area to land on this, but I think it's good to kind of identify where you feel like you're at on that. So like, why doTERRA? You know, there's lots of opportunities. Why do I honestly feel like doTERRA is one of the best? Well, we talked about their oils, right? The most tested and most trusted oils, over 8.5 million customers. doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. They're used by doctors and hospitals worldwide. We talked about how they're sourced. They have 120 markets open, and their compensation plan is so great and it's so generous. I think they've had incredible growth. I love their record-breaking retention rate because of the quality of the product. They're privately owned. They've got a great ownership-free team. They're debt-free, all of those good things. But like, why on a more personal level? Like, why do I feel like it's been such a great thing? It is such a great thing. The flexibility, you know, you're in charge, working when you want to, or not working when you don't want to, having that time freedom and that residual income. And really what that means is like, it's like income that pays you maybe when you're sick, or maybe when one of your kiddos is sick, or when the entire country shuts down because of a global pandemic, things like that. And that's really meaningful. Questions that you might have. How do I make money? How much time is involved? You know, what is the next step? So the process is pretty simple, pretty tried and true. So you start by sampling. You know, you get a little bottle of oil into somebody's hands. Maybe it's for better sleep or less pain. And then you teach them about oils, how to use it, what that looks like. And then you help them pick out a kit that might be a good fit for them. And then you support them. You know, we have a whole infrastructure of support and classes and systems. So you, of course, anybody gets to utilize that, but making sure that they feel well cared for is part of the process. How much time is involved? Maybe you're like, oh, I just want my oils paid for. I would say 3 to 5 hours a week. If you want to supplement your income, probably about 5 to 15. And if you are looking to replace your income, I'd say no less than 15 hours a week. But really that could just be 3 extra hours a day. You know, sometimes I think about the time spent like scrolling or on Netflix, right? And it could be that time right there that's put into a business that could really impact your life. I just want to take a minute to share about my doTERRA story. So I've been sharing oils for probably more like 5.5, 6 years. And it really started for my husband and I decided it was a really good fit because we wanted flexibility for me when we had kids. And as we got started, we realized that it would be possible to do this together as a family, and to have my husband home from his traditional job, that traditional 9 to 5, you know. And so what then happened, we worked very hard for that. And about a year and a half ago, my husband very unexpectedly lost his job. And it was at that point that we decided it was time to like step into doTERRA. And had it not been for doTERRA, it would have been a problem. It wouldn't have been so good. But what it has allowed is like total togetherness. We have access to my husband, my daughters have access to their daddy, and that time together and the ability to like do the things that we're passionate about and be with the people we love has been such a game changer. And really it wouldn't be possible if doTERRA didn't say like, you can share these oils if you want to. Next steps, you like, do you have a wholesale account? Thinking about that, right? And getting that set up, reaching out for help. Again, I talked about like, we have things that anybody can be plugged into, that anybody can have access to. And then start making your list and getting fun samples into people's hands and helping them, which really can be a super fun part. I just want to leave you guys with this quote. When you share doTERRA products, you bring hope and wellness to the people you love, your community, and ultimately the world. Selling the doTERRA way is about service, one drop at a time and one person at a time. We are serving the world with wellness solutions. All right, everybody. I just want to thank you for taking the time to be on, the time out of your evening. You'll be hearing from somebody to help support you and care for you well. And of course, we're always here if you have questions or if something comes up. Barb, you want to say anything else?
No, just thank you, Amy. Thank you for running this again. I know I really wanted to try and do it, but this cough just wasn't going to work today. So thanks for joining us, Amy. Erica, hope to see you soon. Thanks.
All right.
And I'll be in touch this week.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.